Hi, Peter.
Hi, Mohsin. Can you hear me?
I can hear you okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah, no worries.
How are you?
Yes, not bad. It's all a bit strange, but yes, we're surviving. How
You
about
look
you?
quite different from your profile image. I hope you haven't grown your
Oh,
facial
yeah.
hair quarantine period.
No, no, it's not that bad. No, I like to think that I'm still like that inside. Try and stay young somehow.
Oh, this was definitely not about age. I can feel my hair. I'm at a point where I'm thinking about shaving it off entirely because we can't go to
Yeah.
the, you know.
No, I'm hanging on to mine. Long as I can, anyway. I think at some point I'll have to give up, but yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, thanks very much for coming along and joining in.
no problem.
I haven't given a great deal of information, for which I apologise. I know that's not very helpful of me.
It's fine. We can cover that now.
Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. So yeah, tell me a bit about what you offer and what kind of things you would expect us to be needing to talk about.
Okay, so I run Inspire. We're a tech consulting and IT services company. So we deal with IT change, as in we help clients set up the right systems for their business, or in your case, obviously not a business, a charity organization, non-profit, I think. Um, so not just setting up system, but also ongoing management and running of those systems.
Yeah.
So we're a Microsoft partner. My own background is from consulting. Used to work for
Yeah.
Microsoft. Have worked in consulting for a very, very long time. Still do some very, very large consulting projects for some of the biggest consultancy firms in the UK.
Okay.
Clients include Houses of Parliament, large private organizations, Coca-Cola, Costa Coffee. We've done their projects. But
Very good.
we work with smaller organizations as well. Companies right down to only about 5 staff members, or like that.
Okay, that is
So
small. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what we do. We started as a fully Microsoft focused company, but obviously we branched out as small businesses. They have quite diverse needs, and they're looking for one partner to fulfill all of them, as opposed to where we used to work only with large companies and only on Microsoft Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we do. What
Okay.
about yourself? What's your company you're chatting about? How many people do you have? How do you
Okay.
function?
Sure. We we have about sort of 20 staff. Not all of them would be logging on at the same time.
Okay.
So we're probably, well, definitely, medium sized,
Okay.
small, yeah, typically small sized, not
Yeah.
quite medium yet. We haven't got 50 people.
Okay.
Um, we are a caring organisation. We support carers who are at home looking after people who are less able to care for themselves.
Yeah.
Very busy at the moment. There's a lot of difficulty because people are kind of half in the, oh crikey, what am I supposed to do because I'm not allowed out the front door scenario. But on
Absolutely.
the other hand, hang on, who do I want to allow in? Because that's equally difficult. So we're
Yeah.
struggling to try and deal with that. That's kind of like a frontline situation.
Yeah.
Um, from the applications perspective, so we have what we call care support workers, and we obviously have to log time where they're spending time with carers, or sometimes in time in lieu of
Yeah.
carers, where they're giving carers respite services. So that's one major platform. We have an HR platform, which I think is
Yeah.
called Breeze. I think the outgoing CEO knew somebody who had an HR system, so that was fortuitous and seemed to work quite well. We've also using something like QuickBooks to
Yeah.
look after the books, and
Yeah.
then we've got general admin, which is at the moment it's a Microsoft server-based approach.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
So what we want is we want to try and reduce, if we can make the user, the maintenance of the system easier.
Yeah,
because things like technical knowledge and what have you, are difficult to acquire for normal members of staff.
of course.
So we'd
Yeah.
like
Do you
that
have an
sort of
IT
thing.
person who deals with this?
We do, but they seem to be very overrun at the moment.
Okay. Are they someone else? Is it a different role who's also putting the IT hat on?
It's not, no, it's not somebody that we have in house. It's somebody
Yeah.
who's providing services to us.
Okay.
Um, but we want to take an opportunity with an incoming CEO as well. We want to take an opportunity, A, to kind of do an audit of what we're doing currently, but also B, look at, what else can we do? What else should we do? Can we make
Yeah.
things easier so that
Okay.
we can reduce, ideally, we'd like to reduce overheads as well as doing things better than we do currently.
Makes sense. Okay. Right. So when you talk about reducing overheads, doing things in a better way, and
Yeah,
audit of what you're doing, what I don't do is I don't try and sell stuff. Hey, get this solution. This is amazing. This is going to make your worries go away. Right.
good.
What I want to hear from you is what kind of pain points are you feeling? What are your issues that you know of? And then we can go into issues that you might not know of or ways in which we can make the way you work better that you might not be aware of. So let's hear from you first what your pain points or issues might be.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think operationally we don't have major pain points. However, what I would say is that I think that we would like to kind of have a more integrated approach, because it does seem, sort of slightly bits and pieces, and there isn't an overarching means of seeing what's happening and being in control, and knowing that staff can look after systems to some point,
Mm-hmm.
but and ideally extending that if possible, so that tech support is kind of minimised. I mean, I think that's the principal starting point.
Okay, makes sense. So at the moment, do you look after your IT system yourself? And when something breaks, you engage your current IT partner, or do they provide more like a managed service? They look after it, and it's their job to look after it.
Obviously it's a bit difficult at the moment because staff are working from home.
Yeah.
I mean, I am actually involved to some extent with there's a sort of current batch of laptops that have become out of date one way or another, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
sort of get them back up to date. That's both in terms of the software on them, and that's we're having to do that across a wide range of different laptops. So
Yeah.
integrating that
Mm-hmm.
would certainly be something that eases the workload, so to speak.
Okay, that's fine. That's very normal. Every company needs that. Nothing out of the usual. Okay, so what applications do people spend in? You mentioned that things are not very integrated; they're quite disconnected.
And I
So
think the other thing is I think there's still a reliance on email, and you've got email documents being attached and sent back and forth, and maybe we should be looking more at sort of central server type access to documents,
yeah,
working jointly on documents, that type of thing. And sorry, what was your question?
my question was that you mentioned earlier that things appear to be quite disconnected. There's no integration, right?
Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, you'd ideally want a central platform where you could.
Okay, so what
Um,
does your server do? The server that you mentioned, a
yeah,
Microsoft-based solution. What does
well,
that do?
it's a public drive server in a normal kind of Microsoft way.
It's just a data store. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. And we have a virtual private network that we operate that accesses that particular drive. So if people are working remotely, they can go to the virtual private network and go and access the drive and do whatever work they need to on documents there.
Okay. And what's your normal operational model outside the current coronavirus situation? Are 20 people sat together in an office? Is that how you
Yeah,
operate? Where are you located?
yeah,
So they sat together.
yeah, yeah. Office based. We've got a decent sized office, as I say, to house those 20 odd people.
Yeah.
and that seems to function, fairly well, I think, from our
Yeah.
perspective.
Okay. You mentioned Northwest London. Is that where you are?
That's correct. We're in Harrow.
Oh, good. Okay. And these applications that you mentioned, your
Yeah.
time logging application, the HR application, Breeze,
Yeah.
and QuickBooks, are
Yep.
any of these cloud-based, as in a software as a service model, where you go onto a website in a browser and use them, or
I
are
think
they installed on your
QuickBooks is.
server?
I think QuickBooks is, and I think the HR. Not sure about the call logging.
So you think QuickBooks and HR are
Yeah,
web-based?
I think.
Because there's QuickBooks and there's QuickBooks Online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of managing your systems, your
Yeah.
server is probably the first thing you want to look at.
Yeah.
Um, After this coronavirus situation ends, what's the
Mm.
future for your company? Do you foresee everyone coming back to the office and working there, or do you foresee remote working a key thing?
We've had a number of sort of suggestions about sort of working locations. I think
Yeah.
it was more, do we need to locate more to the centre of Harrow? And it might have been about trying to take opportunity in that respect. But I suspect the coronavirus will make us think slightly differently about that. So it may be that it's not something that we've discussed yet, but it may be something that we do look perhaps more to remote working as a means of working. Not something we've discussed yet.
Okay, makes sense.
But
Okay.
I think a lot of people are thinking, maybe that's something that they should think about. So, we would need to have a proper discussion about it.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm asking you this question, because
Yeah,
other clients that we already work with, some of them are already having these thoughts. And commercial real estate owners are quite worried in some cases, because people are looking at their costs for renting an office, utilities and everything else,
yeah,
and downsizing their office presence or removing it entirely, some companies.
yeah.
Okay, so the technical problems that you mentioned, they're not difficult to overcome. What do you
No,
currently use for emails? Who's your email service provider?
Office 365.
Oh, that's a good thing. You're doing one thing right already.
Oh, good. It's nice to hear.
Yeah. Do you know what license plan you're on?
I don't know. I don't know no, I don't know the details. I would have to find out.
Okay. Do
I'm
you
going to
purchase
be.
directly from Microsoft or a partner? Who do you pay the invoices to for Office 365?
That I can't answer either. Again, I'm a trustee, so I'm going to have to ask these questions internally.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
compiling a list,
Mhm.
basically, of things that I need to find out.
Yeah.
But based on sort of interviews with good people such as yourself.
Okay. Makes sense. And what's your plan with the discussions? Are you just looking for advice at this stage? Are you looking for a partner like us to engage with you and help you on
We
this
could
journey?
we could be looking for a partner, because what we want is somebody who is available, who can help us
Hmm.
on the support side by enabling staff as much as possible.
Yeah.
But equally, we know there are going to be technical questions that staff won't be able to answer. And so it's about trying to get that balance right.
Yeah, that's fine. Look, our job
Yeah,
is, when we work in the managed services capacity with companies like yourself, we
yeah,
know that companies like yourself, they don't typically have a dedicated IT person. If
no,
there is one, they just don't have the required knowledge to do things
no,
100% correctly. Because if they did, they would be working for a much larger organization.
exactly.
Yeah. So that's where we provide services and help you with the right advice and the right support, obviously at a fraction of the cost of hiring,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
full-time IT professional. Because our team is available to you. We know how to get this stuff working,
yeah.
how to keep it working. and keep you away from these troubles. You're probably working with these laptop upgrades, all of this stuff
Yeah.
yourself, so you don't have to worry about that. That's the
If
reason.
you were working on a, I mean, let's consider a help desk
Yeah,
scenario. I
yeah.
mean, if you were working on that basis, what sort of numbers of calls would you be happy to field on a sort of monthly basis?
Number of calls, it differs from client to client. So when we take on a new client, let's
Yeah,
say we take on a new managed services client, um, depends on what the current situation is. If the current setup
yes,
is really bad, things are not set up right, people will be generating a lot of calls,
yeah,
right? In which case, obviously, we'll have to advise the client that these are the things you need to fix. You've got these 5-year-old PCs that people are working on. They can't cope anymore. They're generating a call every day. My PC doesn't work. This
yeah,
needs
yeah,
fix. Yeah. Obviously, if it's a well-maintained estate that you have, the calls will be less.
yeah, sure,
Yeah. User
yeah,
education again plays a part. If the
yeah,
people that are working for you are somewhat IT literate, calls are less. If they are not, there's more calls. Also,
yeah,
IT change is another thing. Let's say you were not on Office 365, and let's imagine we introduced Office 365 as something new.
yeah,
Your people are not used to it. Early on, they will generate a lot of calls. But the good thing is that with a managed services model, we provide unlimited support. Yeah.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter how many calls you generate.
You're
That's
you're
okay.
you're 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 either you're breaking up slightly or you're dropping off at the end of the sentence. I can't quite hear the end of the sentence.
Okay. All right. Let me repeat this back. The,
Please,
back
thank
to
you.
what I missed. So what I was saying was, it does not matter how many calls you generate, because
Yep.
if you are on the managed services plan,
Yep.
that covers unlimited support, all you can eat.
Uh-huh.
Okay. However, for your benefit and for us as well, if you have something that's causing an ongoing problem,
Yeah.
for example, if you're using a broadband provider that
Yeah.
keeps going down 4 times a day,
Yeah.
we will have 4 calls a day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
problem for you. That's a problem for us. We'll advise you to fix that, change that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, we can help you do all of that. So
Yeah.
we work with you to reduce the number of calls, reduce the number of problems.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we endeavor to do. You can generate
Yep.
as many calls as you like, but we will work with you to reduce these calls. Look,
Thank you.
if you're paying a fixed fee as a managed services option,
Yeah.
the only way we can be profitable
Mm.
is if you generate less calls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have an interest in making sure your IT works in the best way it can. Your users have as few problems as possible. They just
Yeah.
do what they come to the office to do. They don't struggle with
Yeah.
IT.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So that's the model. That's the model that we prefer the clients to be on.
Okay.
If a client is not ready to go into the managed services model
Mm.
for some reason, which will be discussed, then obviously then it's a per hour break fix model where you buy a block of
Yeah.
hours and you utilize them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, it's good to know that there's choices,
Yeah,
so that we can consider, plan A or plan B. Yeah.
exactly. How does your IT function? I mean, how is it funded? Do you get grants? How is the organization funded?
It's part of the overheads that we have
Yeah.
to factor into the projects that we run. So typically, there are a whole set of overheads that have to be apportioned
Yeah.
across all of the projects we run, and IT is part of that apportioning process.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. And are you a registered charity?
Yes, yes,
You are.
yes,
Okay. That's good. And then because in that case, if you're not already benefiting from it, you might be able to access Office 365 plans at much
yeah,
reduced cost.
okay,
Yeah.
yes,
So we can enable all the capability for you. Coming to the issue you described, you say there's a big reliance on emails and
yeah,
files being bounced around as
yeah,
attachments. Yeah,
yeah.
we see that all the time. It's a very inefficient way of working. There are 5 copies of files that 5 different people have.
That's right. And
One
which
person
version is it?
updates it.
Da. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Another person updates that. Then you have 2 different divergent copies. You're synchronizing changes. None of that works.
Yeah.
So with Office 365, we can solve this problem really easily. That's what it's designed for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on top of your email capability, we can set up for you Microsoft Teams. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Okay. So that would replace the need for using Zoom as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We're using Zoom a lot at the moment.
Yeah. So are you on a paid plan for Zoom? Are you paying for it or is it free?
No. 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 It's No, I think not. I think it's kind of like an individual basis. So, I mean, we've only got a small number of staff, so it's not like we're going to kind of get to the limit, if you
Yeah.
like, on the number of users per per meeting.
Okay. But the free sessions are also limited to 40 minutes. You might know that.
Oh
Um,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So with Office 365, you will get Microsoft Teams, which you can
Yeah,
use for your meetings. Audio, video meetings can be recorded.
yeah,
Files can be shared. And more than the meeting capability, it has capabilities for you to share your files centrally in Office
yeah.
365.
Uh-huh.
So they don't have to be on your file server anymore. Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to VPN in to access those files anymore.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. Your server goes down, you don't care because your files are in the cloud and you can
Yeah.
access them from wherever you like, whichever device you like, they're just available to you all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the sort of the downtime um, statistic? It must be. I would imagine it's almost zero.
Yeah, it's almost zero. There's no way that you could sort of compete or even get close to the service availability of Office 365 with the server in Office, even if you had
No,
50
no,
servers.
no.
You
Yeah,
can't,
that's right. And you
can't
would
achieve that.
expect that. We
Yeah,
would
the,
expect
the,
that.
the
Yeah.
scale of fault tolerance in Office 365 is
Yeah.
colossal. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
don't worry about that at all.
No, 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 no. I mean, that's one of the reasons for considering it.
Yes, because you will have less downtime for a very small fee. Microsoft are taking the responsibility to make sure that your service is up, your data is secure.
Yeah.
This tech was obviously previously available to large organizations only. Now
Mm,
you just pay a few pounds a user, even less in
mm,
case of charities, and you have
uh-huh.
access to the same capabilities that these large companies have. So it's a, it's
Okay.
a, it's a no-brainer, certainly.
Okay.
Use that and get rid of file server, whether you do that with us or with anyone else. I'm not
Okay.
charging you for this conversation.
Oh, good.
Whoever you do it with, get rid of your file server, put your
Okay.
data and share in Teams.
Okay. All right.
And you'll also have the
Yeah.
capability to work on files simultaneously. So you
Yeah.
and one of your teammates, your colleagues, you could be working on document, Excel files, presentations,
Yeah.
simultaneously editing the same file at the same time. We do this all the
Sure.
time.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so that's gonna cut down your emails bouncing around.
Well,
You
that's
have
right.
chat,
Yes.
yeah,
Back and forth. Yeah.
you have chat capability in Teams,
Was
right?
this what capable?
Chat capability in Teams, so you can just instant message each other.
Oh, oh, right. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
there's a quick question, there's no need to send an email around. There's no need to pick up the phone, ping a message. You can see who's available, who's not available, who's away, and it just facilitates collaboration.
Yeah.
Ease
I mean,
of getting work done.
I'm a big fan of chat, but it's going to take people a little while to migrate across.
It takes a little time, but what as they start getting used to, as they see the benefits, Teams
Yeah.
is the most popular Microsoft product I have seen in my
Which one
entire
is? Sorry.
career. Teams,
Teams. Yeah.
Microsoft Teams. So the
Okay.
response users have for Teams, the love that they show for Teams, I've not seen that for any other product. It's life changing.
Okay.
Yeah, you will just not go back from
Okay.
it. So that's gonna sort out your server problem. What's the reason people VPN in for? So when you are working remotely, what
Yeah.
can you not do without VPN? Tell me that.
It's just access to working files that people have, such that, I mean, for example, if it's corporate data, if it's sensitive
Yeah,
data,
yeah.
then you want to make sure that it's held centrally and not getting distributed out here, there, and everywhere.
Mhm. So if your data is stored in the Office 365 cloud, you won't need
Yeah.
to have a VPN So you won't need to connect to your server anymore. So instantly, you're achieving a cost reduction there. I don't know what
Yeah.
the state of your server is. Obviously, we can do a sort of IT health check. Your server
Are
might
there
be
any?
4 years old. It might be out of warranty. It
Mm,
might be getting backed up. Might not be getting backed up. You might have decent antivirus protection. You might not have it.
do you know if there are any diagnostics that we could be running that would give us an overview of all of that?
There isn't an automated diagnostic to do that. So when we do an IT health check for new clients, it
Yeah.
will include a lot of the things that we would look for ourselves because
Yeah.
not everything is Microsoft anyway,
Okay.
right? So we will check a lot of things. We will check how your server is set up, what the hardware is it
Mm,
failing, is it in
mm,
warranty, is it out of warranty, do
yeah.
you have fault tolerance within the hardware? Because let's say one of your hard drive fails, what's going to
Yeah.
happen to your company? Is going to be down for 4 days and you recover, or is it
Yeah.
going to be a case of data's all gone, you can't recover from
Yeah.
it? Is it
Good.
getting
Yeah.
backed up? Do you have decent antivirus protection? Is your
Yeah.
VPN secure?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the situation with your broadband? If you rely on your internet to get work done,
I see. Yeah.
do you have
No.
a
No.
backup
Good.
broadband? Do you need a backup broadband?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we work
Okay.
with you and
Yeah.
try and learn what your company needs,
Yeah.
um, to obviously get the work done and prevent downtime, prevent risk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
and
are you
help deliver
based?
solutions.
Where's your company based?
We're based in London.
Whereabouts?
So our field office is in Essex, not too
Yeah.
far outside London. Uh, as you know, London, Greater London and Essex quite overlap.
Yeah.
But we also have staff overseas in Canada and in
Okay.
Pakistan. Yeah, so
Okay.
we started a new operation in Canada last year.
Where? Kandahar.
In Canada,
Oh, Canada. Sorry.
Canada, Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice
yeah,
place.
yeah. So we're not a very large team at the moment. There's only 6 of us, but
Okay.
we are sufficiently capable to deal with a large number of clients and a large number of projects.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's good that you're kind of you're stretching your wings a bit a little bit as well. So yeah.
absolutely. One of the reasons we've done this, it also gives us kind of a follow the sun coverage
Yeah.
because it gives us more hours where staff are available.
Yeah. Is that East Coast Canada or West Coast?
East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're
So
not. I
so
mean,
same time as New York, Eastern time zone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
5 hours. I mean, I was just thinking if
Exactly.
you were Vancouver, then you'd be 8 hours. So that would give you
Exactly.
you could sort of look at round the clock at that point more so. But you know,
Maybe another time. Currently, it helps us do a lot of things that we previously found difficult to do,
I'm sure.
because once our working day finishes,
Yeah,
they're still online, right? A lot of
mm,
the, let's say your server needs updating. We need to
yeah,
install the updates, restart it, check backups. All of that stuff can be done outside your working hours
yeah,
without
yeah,
opening
yeah,
work
yeah,
to do. Yeah.
yeah.
So
No, that's
that
good.
gives us a unique capability as well.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So you can you can have a 10-hour day, more comfortably, so to speak.
Absolutely, without keeping people away from their families, holding them
Yes.
late in the office, or
Okay.
that's how people leave their jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yes, you're right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's
So
good to hear
we want to
somebody.
keep the talent that we have, and
Yeah,
not lose it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. No, it's good to hear that you're a considerate person, and that's a nice thing.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay. What else do we need? I'm conscious we've kind of got to the end of 30 minutes. What
Yeah.
else would you say that we need to pay particular attention to, maybe that we haven't talked about so far?
Right. Okay. So one of the key things, obviously, I would say is security. Now, you work
Yeah.
with carers. You're probably regulated in some way. You're kind of in
Yes.
the healthcare industry, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so security is key. A client that we do a lot of work for actually recently got compromised by
Yeah.
malware. Have you heard of
Yeah.
malware? Ransomware.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was all over the news. I could give you the name if you like, because it's all over the news. It's public. It's public data. We were obviously not sharing it externally until
Mm.
it made the news. But the demand for ransom was in millions because it's a multi-million-pound company. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah. We
generate.
don't fall into that category.
But I will tell you, you know that most of the organizations bulk of the organizations in percentage in the world are small companies.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I know. I
Bulk
know.
of the
They'll still
attacks
ask
are
for money.
targeted against small companies.
Yeah.
You know that there are thieves and burglars who go and rob banks for millions,
Mm,
and there are small shop thieves who rob houses.
yeah.
Yes. So there's a thief for everyone.
Mm,
So everyone does
yeah.
need security. Clients think
Okay.
that they're small and they don't think about security, and then
Yeah.
something goes. Yeah. So security is something I would say, think about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, think about other risks like your data backups. You need to ensure that your data is backed up correctly and in a way
Yeah.
that you can restore it and you can recover from a disaster if it does happen.
Yeah. 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 It's an important thing. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. So there are very entry level solutions for small companies,
Yeah.
and there are very fancy solutions for big companies as well. This client that I just mentioned to you, they're a medicines research company. They're working on the
Yeah.
COVID-19 vaccines. When their incident happened, the
Yeah.
attackers encrypted all of their data.
Mm,
Now, because we had implemented a very fancy disaster recovery solution for them, we
yeah.
were able to fail over all of their services into Azure
Yeah.
in a matter of about half an hour to 1 hour and get them
Good.
operational again, all their data. A small
Oh, that's
company
good.
won't afford a solution like that, but there are solutions for you as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. That all sounds great and sensible. Is there anything else?
When we say security, number of things, right? Have you got an
Yeah.
antivirus in place? Which
Yeah.
antivirus do you have? You know?
Well, it's a slight mixture. A, we're using Microsoft itself,
Hmm.
and B, we're using Kaspersky.
Okay. Neither is a good option.
Okay.
Microsoft, yeah, Microsoft Defender is a really good option if you have the right licensing and the right configuration for it.
Right.
Just it comes with Windows is not good enough. It's not going to
Okay.
protect you from anything.
Okay.
Same with Kaspersky. So you need to look into that as well.
All right. Okay.
And obviously, if you do consider a managed services model, um, you think about the time that you would free up by having
Yeah.
a partner look after those things. So you mentioned
Yeah.
some laptops that you are updating, etc. So with a managed services model, what we do is it is our job to
Mm,
make sure that your server, if you still have a server when we are
yeah.
done transforming your IT,
Yeah.
you probably will not have a server. But if you have a server, it's going to get updated automatically, patched. Make sure that the scans run, backups run. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
your PCs, they always have an up-to-date antivirus. The updates get applied, Windows updates,
Yeah.
the maintenance routines like disk defragmentation and the performance optimization that is done on a timely basis.
I mean, is there a dashboard for that type of thing? Because I mean, what Microsoft historically have done
Mhm.
is the utilities are there, but you have to know about them and go and look for them specifically.
When you talk of dashboards, the tools that are used by us, managed
Mm,
services providers, they're called RMMs, remote management and monitoring tools.
all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so we use these tools to make sure that your PCs are running the correct way because
Yeah.
we carry out internal testing. So when Microsoft release updates, we would carry out internal testing to make sure these updates they will work correctly. Yeah,
All right.
and then they get pushed out to not just you, all the clients.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
maintenance routines runs every day, backups
Okay.
run every day. So
Yeah.
that's how we manage it. Uh,
Yeah.
Getting a solution like this, in house, that
Yeah.
just wouldn't be cost effective, and just the cost of learning it would be in thousands of pounds. It just wouldn't work for you.
Yes. 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 True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how things work. Your applications, if they're already cloud based, I would say think about their security as much as you can. You asked a question: is it more hackable in the cloud? Something like that.
Yes.
Okay. So think about this: when your data is in your office, you probably have a firewall,
Yeah.
and obviously without the VPN, disregarding the discussion whether the VPN is very secure or not, unless
Mm,
someone's connected to the VPN, they
yeah.
don't have any sight of your data.
Okay.
When it's in the cloud,
Mm,
unless you take the right steps to secure it, anyone can get in. For example, you're using Office 365 for emails.
Yeah,
When you log in, what do? You type in your username and password.
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there anything else you do other than your username and password?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so you don't have any multi-factor authentication.
Oh, you're talking about like mobile phone
Like,
number?
well, yes, like a text message you receive or notification on your phone, etc.
Yeah.
These things are essential. They are inconvenience because security is never convenient.
No, sure.
Yeah, but obviously, if you don't do that, all someone needs is your password to get in, and it's not very difficult these days to get
Yeah,
your
yeah,
password.
yeah.
Your
And we need to.
users, they probably use the same password for your company account that they do for their Hotmail or their Amazon. One of these passwords gets compromised, and it's all over.
Yeah, we need to do a risk assessment, proper risk assessment.
Exactly. So obviously, we do all these things for you. We implement the security,
Mm.
and we help ensure that the baddies, they stay out. Some of our clients, some of our premium clients, they benefit from a service called the dark web monitoring. Do you know about the dark web?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've not been on there
Okay.
myself.
Yeah. Okay. So the dark web is where credentials are sold to
Yeah,
whoever wants
sure.
them. Yeah. When someone
Yeah,
compromises someone's password,
yeah.
they will just sell it there. Whoever's interested in compromising that company, they'll buy it. We do dark
Mm.
web monitoring. So if your company's passwords end up on the dark web, the moment they're there, we'll alert you.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
So again,
Okay.
not everything is for everyone, and we don't push everything to everyone.
No, okay, fine.
We'll advise you what would fit a company your size
Mm.
and your budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then see how you want to work with that.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. I don't do
Thanks.
pushy sales. I just don't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased about that.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And you've actually you have raised a lot of points that we need to take into account and consideration.
Yes.
We do
So
need to do a substantial risk assessment about what are our risks and so forth.
is your current IT partner not providing you the service at all? That's their job.
I think they've been. My impression is they've been very snowed under due to the COVID
COVID-19.
situation.
Okay.
So that it's about the fact that you've got some built-in resilience by having some extra people in Canada if you need to go over there.
Mhm.
That's actually a good idea. So those are things that we need to take into account.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. And obviously, I'm keen to work with companies like you. And if you do decide to look at this further, I'm very happy to set up a conversation to
Thank you.
actually get some of these things done for you. The low hanging fruit for you would be get your Office 365 set up right. We are
Yeah,
specialists in that. I worked in the Office 365 team at Microsoft. I did Houses of Parliament's Office 365
yeah.
deployments. Um, so that's low hanging fruit for you.
Okay,
Get that set up right, get Teams set up, get your data up there. You won't be relying
sure.
on that file server anymore. And then we can look
Great.
into other things as well.
Okay, fantastic. Look, I want to say thank you very much. We are almost out of time. We've got about a minute left. So
Yeah,
thank you very much. Thanks for spending the time. And you've been extremely helpful. And we will come back to you and let you know, with either with more information or we'll let you know what decisions we've made.
lovely. It's been good talking to you, Peter. Can I just ask your company's name?
Yes, because we're called Harrow Carers.
Arrow Cares. Okay, perfect. Thank,
Harrowcarers.org. Harrowcarers.org.
okay, thank you very much. I think you have my email address already. And I don't know if you have my phone number. But I'll share the details with you at any
Thank
point.
you.
If you want to get into a discussion, feel free to engage me.
Yeah, Mohsin, thank you. You've also been extremely professional, and that's very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words, Peter.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.